In the summer of 2014, the Communication Arts Department moved into the newly renovated Sanford Hall on Sweetheart Circle. Less than a few weeks in, an unusual occurrence was noticed. The door to the television studio control room was found unlocked during the night. ComArt staff contacted campus police to file a report. Police pulled the security footage, and what was found was very hard to explain.
This was roughly around about August 15th, right before school was supposed to start. An investigation to see why certain doors that were put into the lock position during the evening shift were found to be unsecured during the night or by the next morning. So after several incidents of the doors being found unsecured, we contacted the campus police, and based on certain dates that were documented through emails, the campus police were able to look back at the security tapes and be able to see what was going on and who was doing what, and in order to try to find out what this mystery was going on about. A day or so later, he gives me a call on the phone, tells me to come down to the station and be able to look at the footage. Upon arriving at the station, the investigator said, "Okay, before we start, there's something I need to tell you. There's something that's on this tape that I cannot explain. You just need to see it."
Could there be a ghost or something supernatural happening at Sanford? We wanted to watch this paranormal event with our own eyes. After emailing the chief of campus police and the investigator assigned to the incident, we were told they were no longer in control of the video. We were then told that we would need to file a request through the Judicial Affairs. However, while filling out the form, we were contacted again by the chief and told that the video clip had been deleted.
So we started watching the videotape, and right off the bat, the first thing that we notice is the control room door, room 0107B. The door handle shakes, just starts to wiggle, and then the next thing you know, the door opens slowly to about the halfway point and then stops. And I kind of do a double take and was like, what the heck did I just see? And I looked at the investigator and I looked back at the screen and I was like, what did I just see there? And he's like, I don't know.
After some further research into the room itself, we have concluded that there is no way that the door could have been opened by someone and remained open as in the security footage. Furthermore, if someone would have opened the control room door, they would have been seen through the glass. The only explanation campus police could give is that it was simply a pressure issue within the room. According to the chief, he believed the control room door was pulled open due to an air pressure change when an exterior door was opened.
I went ahead and contacted one of the faculty members, Kelly Berry, and I asked him, based on the size of the door and the weight and what he knew about some things about physics that I didn't, that could possibly create a pressurized environment that could push the door open by itself. And when I asked him, basically he had no idea, and he couldn't even begin to think about what was that type of conditions could be able to warrant it.
The only way for the control room door to be open was for someone, or something, to push down on the door handle and then open the door. As stated by Mr. Bentley during his interview, there was no one in the security camera footage, and therefore there must have been something that caused the door to open and then stay open. He goes on to mention that in the security footage, the door handle visibly shook. During our attempt to recreate this, we discovered the only way to cause the handle to move is to forcefully shake the entire door. To further explain this phenomenon, we looked into the history of Sanford Hall. There are 3 strange stories that could offer some insight on our mystery. Sanford Hall was finished on December 15, 1936. Originally, this hall was built as a dormitory for male college students and stayed that way for decades. The first possible explanation happened the same year the building opened. Within each dorm, there were dorm councils that listened to the needs and wants of the students who lived there. One major request that Sanford students had were radios in their rooms. A poll was taken by the Georgian back in 1937, which concluded that of the 169 students in Sanford, 149 of them supported the idea of allowing radios in their dorm rooms. This request turned into a long, heated debate between university officials and the students. Since the building now belongs to the Media Communication Department, Sanford Hall houses the TV station where the incident occurred, as well as the university's radio station directly above it. There is a possibility that a House Council member has decided to take this opportunity to use the new equipment in a paranormal form. The second possibility is centered around Sanford's designated janitor, Mose Bass. Custodian Mose Bass believed that every student should be in class and made it his mission to assure each student in Sanford was up and ready each morning. For those who requested him to, Mr. Bass would go into dorm rooms to wake up students to make sure they had not overslept their alarms. This made Mose Bass a true icon in Sanford Hall. Mr. Bass was so dedicated to his students that he may have never left. After further discussion with the staff, another very viable explanation is that a former professor, Kent Murray, who passed away just before Sanford was reopened as the Mass Media and Communication Building, is still watching over the building to make sure that it is being taken care of.
He fought for nearly 25 years to get us facilities like the ones we have now. So and of course he was the longest serving ComArts faculty member on staff, on the faculty. The main thing is that the control room was where it happened, and Mr. Murray designed our control room. He really, in a lot of ways, laid out the inside of this building, and I don't mean from an architectural standpoint, but from more of a logistics standpoint, and worked with the architects the entire time that they were renovating this building. If there's something in the building that is beyond us in the paranormal realm, it would seem to me like it would be Mr. Murray. All signs are pointing to that.
Perhaps we will never know what or who caused this unsettling situation. The unexplainable activity in Sanford Hall causes one to reconsider their position on whether or not we are alone in the building.
I used to be a non-believer. I used to think it's hocus pocus, whatever, you see on those reality TV shows and stuff. But the fact that I saw it on a security camera, the fact that I had, actual professional police officers showing their security cameras, and nobody can actually explain what we all saw, that, makes a person wonder, whether or not there are forces out there that cannot be explained.